Hey guys, welcome back for another Java tutorial, and in this one we're going to be talking about what all these words mean up here. This public, static, and void, we're gonna talk about what they are. But we're mostly gonna focus on public for this tutorial. I'll briefly talk about static and void, but that's if I'm gonna go more in depth on those in their own tutorials. So let's look at our second class that we made last tutorial, if you still have it. Otherwise, you can just look along, because we're not going to really be doing anything. We're just going to be talking in this tutorial, because this is really just going to reinforce some ideas that you guys need to understand. So this public, I labeled this method as public. Like this entire line up here is called a method header, where you're just going to list off like modifiers, which is what all these purple words in method headers are. You're just modifying the method. Like you're just going to modify the method using these words, and you can use public, static is one of them, void is one of them, or there's others, but like I said, we're going to be talking about public in this one. So what public means is that another class, like our main class, can call that method. Public says that other classes in the Java, your application that you're making, can view this method. Like if they couldn't view this method, then it would really just be pointless to them, because it's like, well, I can't use it. What's the point of me even like programming it, really? I mean, if it was private, which is like private is the what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you could call it opposite of public, where other classes can't see what this is. So only tutorial 2, like only code in tutorial 2 would be able to use this method if it was private. But most of the time you don't want to do that, and you want to leave all your methods as public. Where the private comes in is in what we call attributes. And attributes are variables that the class is going to use. So like if I were to make like private integer bubbles equal to 5, this variable, it's a private variable. So only the tutorial 2 class could use this variable. Like I can't go into my tutorial class and being like bubbles. It can't be like you can't use that outside of this class. So that's private, and that's public versus private, which is what this is really what I'm trying to drill home in this tutorial. You can have public variables. Like I can make a public integer I don't know, dogs equal to 5 also. But then the downside of that is I can do dogs equal to 6. Or so, like I can, well, this line of code wouldn't work that I just wrote, but like I could write a method that could alter this dogs. Like the public, let me gather my thoughts here for a second, guys. The public, making a variable public means that other classes not only can see the variable, but they can also alter the variable, which you don't want happening. So, which is why you want private variables in the class. So private variables, public methods. But that being said, like if you're inside the method, you don't have to be like everything you declare doesn't have to be private. Like you don't have to be private int num equals 5. Like you don't have to do that. The only reason these variables up here are private is because like I said, they're called attributes, and attributes are variables that this entire class can use. Because like I said, like these braces stop Java from seeing variables. Like if I made a variable called dogs and set it equal to 1 in here, I can't make a method and call it dog count, and I can't be like print dogs Java will be like, where is this dog's variable? This method has no access to it. It's over here. Like, I can't give it to it. You know, it's just how it is, because these braces make everything private. It's a local variable inside that method. But if I made dogs up here and made it equal to 1, and then made another method over here for, you know, public void dog count, I can be, you know, I can say print dogs, because this is legal now, because this dogs variable is owned by the entire class. It's not just owned by this method. See, like, this one is in the method, but this one's to the class, so any method can use it. In this one, only this method can use it. So I hope this is making sense to you guys. Like I said, this can be a very confusing topic in programming and, you know, Java. So you know, just try and follow along as best you can. But that's because we're going over public versus private, and we're also going over attributes in this tutorial. So there's two things going on, but the private reserved word pretty much goes hand in hand with attributes, because all your attributes are pretty much going to be private unless you find some exception to the rule where you don't want that to be true, but most of the time you want private. So like I said, attributes private, methods public, and attributes can be used by other methods in the class. So as you can see here, this class now has 2 methods, and this second method is just counting the number, it's just printing out the number in this dogs variable up here. So that's this tutorial, and like I said, I hope you guys understand. If you don't, leave a comment below and I'll try to help you. Thanks for watching.